Good morning. This is Akira from Key Operation. Today, I would like to introduce a commercial building in Fukasawa. Fukasawa is a quiet residential area in southwest of Tokyo. It has a very good environment with駒沢Park and many schools nearby. The nearest stations are Sakura Shinmachi,駒沢Koen, Todoroki, and Jiyugaoka. However, as this area is far from any of these stations, people often travel by car or by bus. The site is located on Fukasawa Chuo Shopping Street near Fukasawa Fudo Shrine at the intersection of駒沢公園通り Avenue and Komazawa Dori Avenue. During the COVID pandemic, some of the stores were closed. However, since the COVID is finished, the shopping street is getting active again. The site faces the intersection of Fukasawa 4丁目, where 5 roads intersect, and features a corner facing Komazawa Park Avenue and a small street. Behind the building is a low-rise residential area, and on the adjacent land, we have a public library. On this site, there used to be an old residential block purchased by the client's father 20 years ago. As the client found more commercial potential on the site, they decided to build a commercial building. The building was designed not to exceed 500 square meters, as it is subject to various legal restrictions, for example car park, if it exceeds 500 square meters according to Setai Ward local regulations. As a result, a 5-story commercial building was designed. The main tenants are expected to be restaurants. The entrance on the ground floor is located at the corner to give the building a focus point. The entrance for tenants above requires a lift. And if you position at the corner, we will block the corner, so we have to have it moved towards the neighboring library. The design of the facade is very important for the commercial building in order to appeal to the neighborhood. At the early design stage, we considered a glass curtain wall or a solid wall with opening. For these options, we were using a round column, as the building's shape has different angles following the side shape. Then afterwards, we have made a facade with a round column, which is more expressive. The client has chosen this colonnaded facade. In order to express the columns, the glass line is set back to the center of the columns, which reduces the lease area a little bit, but increases the depth of the facade and makes the facade more expressive. Now, let's have a look inside. The entrance door of the ground floor is quite tall. The ground floor has 4-meter height, which makes it feel very spacious. The steel columns are covered with fireproof coating, and then we put the semi-cylinder shaped panels made of aluminum, both on the outside and inside of the structural columns. These aluminum panels are coated with a special painting to give a finish similar to that of cotton steel. In a tenant building, the interior is usually skeleton. The floors, walls, and the ceilings are all skeleton. However, in this building, the columns are finished inside, which is quite unusual. With this finish, the image of the exterior impression is shared internally and have consistent image. Now, let's go to the lift entrance. The lift entrance is an external space, but it is designed to house the tenant signs for each floor. The bottom part of this tenant sign can be easily opened, like this, so you can switch between menus for lunch and for dinner. If you go to the other side of this elevator, there's a staircase, which many people use if they are going to the second floor but most of the people use a lift if they are going to the third floor or further up. In Setagaya Ward, bicycle parking is required depending on the size of the commercial building. But if the bike park is on the ground floor, the lease area on the ground floor will be reduced quite a lot. So in this building, the bicycle parking is located on the rooftop. So let's go into the rooftop first. The lift is quite large, so you can easily turn the bike inside. Here we are at the rooftop. We have a very nice view, and here is a bicycle park. In addition to the bicycle parking, the rooftop also has the electrical substation, and we also have the base structure to put the exhaust fan for each tenant's kitchen. The exhaust fans are to be installed by the tenant, but the ducting is prepared by the landlord. Okay, now let's go downstairs. This is a common area space in front of the lift. The floor is finished with wooden deck, and the ceiling is covered with red cedar. The wall in front of the elevator is a precast concrete panel, but it has a wood grain texture and is finished with a wood color paint, so it looks like a real wooden wall. This is creating a very warm and natural atmosphere. Let's go inside the tenant block. The fifth floor also has columns. As we set back the glass of the facade, we have a small external ceiling under the slab. The red cedar has been applied to the ceiling in order to create a warmer atmosphere on the facade. There are lights on the floor like this, which light up the eaves at night, and this is also working as a safety harness as well. This ceiling height is lower than on the ground floor, but the floor area is almost the same. The only difference is this balcony. Of course, you can go out and enjoy the view, but the main purpose of this balcony is for the evacuation in case of fire. Let's have a look. This balustrade has light fitting, and the wiring is hidden in this vertical rod, and this will illuminate the ceiling. Here we have the red cedar in the ceiling too. Actually, we have a slight gap here, which is fresh air intake for the premises. In a building of this size with this function, you need to evacuate from the balcony, not only from the stairs that we just came through. This is a hatch for the evacuation. Let's try. Once you open, you will find the ladder to go down. This is the fourth floor. The plan is the same as on the fifth floor. These are the ducts for the kitchen air intake and exhaust. And these are the drain pipes. And behind this door, we have the service balcony. A boiler and outdoor air conditioning units can be installed here. This is for the exclusive use of tenants on each floor, and this space is very useful. Let's go down to the third floor. This steel staircase is supported on this side from the structural slab, and on the landing, it's suspended from the top. Let's have a look at the other side. Now we're on the other side of the staircase landing, which is in the service balcony. As you can see, those steel angles are supporting the landing. By the way, I want to show you something. We have an access panel here. And actually you can see the water meter that can be accessed from the common area. The third floor is smaller than the other floors. This floor has a shared disabled toilet, which is required by the local regulation. Now we're on the second floor, and it has the same lease area as on the fourth and fifth floor. Here we can see the balcony, but the way you enter is slightly different. On this floor, we have a potential staircase area, which is here, and also in this area too. So, as it might become a void with a staircase, we didn't put any sliding door here. And we have a door on this side instead. This is a hatch from the escape ladder coming down from the upper floor. And there's no hatch on the floor because below this, on the ground floor, we have an internal space. Instead, there's a ladder. You can open like this. Normally this is closed for a security reason. On the ground floor, we have some plants, which can be enjoyed both from the street and from inside. You can also see the red cedar eaves. We think the facade of the building is not like the elevation drawings, but the view from the eye level. So these eaves and the ceiling of the balcony is actual facade. As this is an intersection with many streets, the electrical cables are a mess, like a spider net. And they are electrical poles with large transformers. They are normally disturbing the facade of the building. However, we felt they are not much disturbing our facade, as the facade expression is quite strong. This commercial building aims to add a certain presence to this Fukasawa area. Despite its urban location, by actively incorporating natural materials and greenery, the building aims to create a pleasant environment open to the city and provides visitors with peaceful time and experience. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.